When I finish one book, I'll go, oh, he or she is my favorite author. And then I move to another book, and then I'll say, oh, now I've got a new favorite author. Hi, my name is Cynthia Timoti. My book is called Salty, Spiced, and a Little Bit Nice. Um, it'll be out in May, and it's published by Bramble and Macmillan in Australia. The book is about my main character is called Ellie. So she is trying to escape her controlling family. So she escapes to the other side of the country to chase her dream of opening a sugar-free bakery. But she's then met with a lot of challenges and hurdles along the way. And the only person that can help her is the one person that she can't stand the most, her sworn enemy. Um, so the book is about it's exploring the relationship between the two of them and also her relationship with her family. My main character is diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So it's also a way of, I guess, giving the readers like a brief overview of what it's like to live with the condition. This is not set in Australia. This is set in a fictional town in America. When I first wrote the story, I actually set it in Australia. And then when I finished, I started querying it to agents in Australia and in the US. And I had feedback that said if you do want to sell books to US publishers, it's probably better to set it in the US instead of in Australia. So I changed that. But because obviously I don't live there, I don't know, what the situation is over there. So I created a fictional town um, for my characters to play in. So this is the first book that is published. This is the fourth book that I've written. So I've had 3 practice novels, you could say. Um, they're probably not very good, and they will never see the light of day. The genre is romance. It's rom-com. So I guess it would be for mostly women, maybe in their 20s and 30s, 40s and above. Um, I guess it's not for a younger audience, and it's for everyone in the market that would enjoy, a fun, lighthearted story. It is a little bit spicy. There are probably 1.5 scene that is a bit, probably not for a younger audience. But yeah, in general, it's not as spicy as a lot of other books in the market, but spicy enough, I guess. My background is in accounting and finance, and I've done that for probably too long of my life. But I'm currently working part time on a contract basis, and my hours are quite flexible. So I'm very lucky to be able to fit my writing around my hours. I guess I've always been a big reader since I was younger, and but writing is never something that I had ever considered as a child because I come from a family of accountants. So so my mom, my dad, my aunties, my uncle. So there was never any doubt that's what I would be doing. But like I said, I've always loved reading, and I think I remember reading a book that I had quite a lot of expectations for, and it fell a bit flat for me, and that sort of disappointed me. So I thought maybe I could give this a shot and see if I can write something that I could enjoy, and hopefully, other people would be able to enjoy as well. I normally write at night, so I find it better because there's less distractions, and the house is quiet, everyone is asleep, so I can concentrate better. But I can write anyway. So when I've got a deadline, I've carried my laptop to, while taking my kids to swimming lessons, tennis lesson, while waiting for them. So I can write anyway. Um, I've written in my local library as well, but I find that I get distracted because I'll start people watching instead of writing. So I do write better at home and then at night. where nobody's calling me mom, mom, mom. Any food, any clothes. So yeah, so that's what I do. My lucky dip question is, what do you do to relax? Um, I read, obviously. I watch a lot of movies, and it's something that I've started doing with my kids now that they're a bit older, so we can watch the sort of same movies together. They're into a lot of like action and superhero movies, so we do that a lot. So on weekends, we have a movie night. Um, and I also find that it's a good way of, getting ideas and inspiration as well. I sleep, uh, but yeah, that's probably it. So I read or I do watch a lot of movies and catch up on sleep whenever I can. That's a very good question. I think books and writers, for me at least, in 2025, they offer a lot of escape from real life, entertainment, and some books, hope as well. And I think with the state of the world that we're currently in, we do need, joy and hope and optimism in our lives. Um, I think a lot of romance novels, they talk about human emotions and challenges and things that people deal with in real life, like illnesses and um, family issues or mental health or what have you. So it's a good way of maybe reaching out to a bigger audience about those topics. And also, I think for diverse writers, it's good to have more diverse stories, to represent and give voice to people who are traditionally underrepresented, I guess, in books, in media, in publishing, so that we can foster a more inclusive society. Okay, so I read across a lot of different genres. I do enjoy thriller and fantasy and sci-fi, nonfiction as well. But I find that in the other genres that I read, I always look for the romantic thread in the books. So I do gravitate back towards romance a lot. Um, like I said, I think there's a lot of joy and optimism and hope that can be found in those books. And for me, that's a form of escape and entertainment. So that's what I always go back to. The first author that I remember reading, I grew up with Enid Blyton. So all her books, the Secret Seven, the Famous Five, the Mallory Tower series, the Circus series, devoured all that. So I think reading her books was what gave me a love of reading. As to who the author is that sparked my love of writing, I don't think I can pinpoint to one exact author. I love reading a lot of books, a lot of different authors. When I finish one book, I'll go, oh, he or she is my favorite author, and then I move to another book, and then I'll say, oh, now I've got a new favorite author. So, so I don't think there's one that really, um, made me want to be a writer. I have just finished the structural edit for book two, that is set in the same universe as book one. And while waiting for my editor to get back to me with that, I'm working on a proposal for book three, hopefully with, set in the same universe as well. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to be here.